Thank you for joining us. It's the Sunday edition of Journalist Hangout. I'm Ayodele Ozubakun. Today on the program, President Buhari decorates service chiefs, charges them to use their offices to secure Nigeria within weeks. President Buhari, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo vaccinated with Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines. And later on the show, Governor Sanwo-Olu inaugurates Agege Pen Cinema flyover as residents express delight with project completion. I'll be hanging out with Olayinka Oyebili, PhD, and Asuko James, while Babajide Otitoju will join us via Skype from Kano. So we are ready. Let the hangout start now. Yinka, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Asuko James.
Happy Sunday, as Nigerians always say.
It's our bumper special edition on Sunday. Yeah. We have 2 hours for you, the next 120 minutes to just go around issues of national importance and dissect it. And we expect Babajide Kolade Otitoju to join us from Kano via Skype today. So hopefully the producer will alert me when he gets his connection right. Now, the change of baton at the Nigerian security hierarchy has been concluded following the decoration of new service chiefs with their new ranks by the Commander-in-Chief. At the decoration ceremony in Abuja, President Muhammadu Buhari urges them to use available men and resources to turn around the security situation in the country within weeks. He said time is not on the side. Let's hear from President Buhari.
I have accepted responsibility for your actions in the field. It's up to you to identify your competent officers, irrespective of seniority and paper qualification, and deploy them to make sure that we secure this country. We have got a few weeks to do that because by the rainy season, we expect people to develop confidence and go back to the land. And I, as a CNC, am backing you 100%.
We will, based on the mandate and the trust that you have bestowed on us, do everything in our power to address all issues appertaining to insecurity in the country, working in concert with other security agencies and, of course, the ministries, departmental agencies in that regard.
Led by the now Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Irabor.
Yes.
Now, for these people, he has given them the marching order. As in, they have to go all out. This situation in the country now is very, very difficult. We are almost in a state of hopelessness, talking about in terms of the insecurity that pervades the country. So this is the time to work. Yes, they've been nominated, they've been cleared by the National Assembly, and all the bureaucratic bottleneck, they've scaled those hurdles, and this is now the time to get down to business.
Yes, this is, Nigerians were actually clamoring for a change in guard, particularly the service chief, so that we'll be able to have a fresh set of ideas, a new set of ideas and initiatives to tackle the insurgency, especially the insurgency in the northeast, which has taken close to 11 years. And immediately these names were rolled out. At least there was a kind of a sign of relief, that, okay, fine, these are the people who have been in this war, the theater, of command, especially the Operation Lafia Dole, because Lucky Irabor, the General Lucky Irabor, was one-time commander of Operation Lafia Dole. Ibrahim Atairu was also a theater commander. So with Mama Otu was also working behind the scene with Sadiq Abubakar. So it means that the service chiefs that we have now are not new to this game. They are the people who have been in this war for a very long time, and so they understand the inner workings. So nothing should stop them. So the president giving them his support, because the president said he's going to back them 100%. So they don't have anything to fear. So the only thing that they need to do now is for them to go all out to deal with the situation. And I like what General Lucky Irabor said. He said what he wants to do is that they will not fail in their responsibilities. So they know that they have a huge task in their hands for them to be able to deal with insurgency, and not just dealing with only insurgency, but banditry. That is now the major problem that we are having. Because if you look at it, most people are really, really afraid of even going to the northwest now. Now, the president also said something, that he wants them to see how they can finish up that problem in record time, particularly before the rainy season. Because during the rainy season, I know so many farmers who are sometimes, some of them are always right down here in the south, when once it's rainy season, they like going back to the north to go and farm. So that by the time it's harvest season, they go back, harvest, and then start selling and come back to the south. So the president is also looking at the farmers going back to the farm during the rainy season for them to start planting, so that we do not run into a very huge situation of having food insecurity. Because if Nigerians are hungry, that is when they now take to crime. So the president has given them that charge. He has given them that support. So what we need now is results.
Results. Now, as a result of that, the Chief of Army Staff has done his own in-house cabinet reshuffle, and this is where you see the GOCs being moved. You see the commandants and the big boys within the military. And now we have so many, I didn't know that we have so many major generals now.
Oh, sure. You know, what has happened now, by my own calculation, we are going to see a new drive and a new new actions, because the service chiefs will do all they can to make sure that they justify their elevation, their promotion, and the confidence reposed in them. It is a normal thing. When you are new,
to do that in a short time.
Oh, sure. Because, you know, many Nigerians have been weary. We have been calling in the past how many years, change the service chiefs, do this, do that. It is now that it has been done. The confidence that those people have now, that, okay, people have been calling for the change of service chiefs. Now I'm there as one of the service chiefs. You will do all in your effort to make sure that you justify the elevation to the post of as one of the service chiefs, that promotion again that goes with it, and the confidence that the majority, mark that word, you know that many Nigerians, including even including both houses of the Senate and the House of Representatives, have called for the change of the service chiefs. So this set of service chiefs, they have no excuse. They have no reason not to justify their appointment. And what I see there is they've noticed that Nigerians have a lot of confidence in them. Now, it is now left for them to come out and prove that, look, gentlemen, fellow countrymen, the confidence you have had in us is not misplaced. So, they are, and as James Azuko initially said, they have been field commanders, they have been on the field, they know all these things, they have worked assiduously on the field. They know it. It's like making a versatile news reporter a news editor. You know what it means, because he already knows the terrain. So these people, they know the terrain, they understand every nook and cranny in the southeast. And whatever, the advantage they have now is the advantage of knowing the terrain. And knowing the men, you notice that the chief of and the CNC, the chief of the commander-in-chief, also said one thing. He said, what you need to do is to take charge, not minding both paper qualification and other things. You know people who can do it. It don't depend only on paper qualification. If you have a major general and you see a colonel or a major that can do the job, put them there so that this is not a time to say that I'm a senior or I'm this, I'm that. It is those who understand the terrain, those who understand how to fight this war that are needed. What I see here is the service chiefs are going to surprise us. They are going to justify. They are going to strive to justify the confidence that majority of Nigerians have placed in them, and we are going to see a change in the game in a short while.
Okay. I think we wish the new service chief the best of luck in their new assignments. That General Lucky Rabo is the new chief of defense staff, and Ibrahim Atairu, the chief of army staff, and Admiral Awa Gambo, the chief of air staff, and naval staff, and Marshal Isaka Amau, the chief of air staff. Yes, Baba Jide Kolade Otitoju is joining us. BKO.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Now, Governor Zulum has visited Dikwa to see the aftermath of the Boko Haram attack, and Dikwa had a military base. Can you please give us a kind of updates on the visit of Governor Zulum and what happened in Dikwa?
No, it wasn't just a military base that we had in Dikwa. We had 3 army formations in Dikwa, and a huge presence of internally displaced persons, a tremendous presence of humanitarian workers, the UN, the UNICEF. You know, they maintained a significant presence in Dikwa. And of course, there had been people there for quite some time. But Boko Haram stormed Dikwa. They had attacked Dikwa so many times, don't forget. And they usually target the place when the governor goes there to distribute food items. Recently, the governor was there to distribute food items and 100 million naira cash to residents of the area, just to make life more meaningful for the people. But Boko Haram stormed the place and sacked the military bases. Not only did they sack the military bases, they set ablaze the bases and the armored vehicles that were at the different locations. Initially, we thought that the enemy was repelled, but the visit of the governor to the place shows clearly that the enemy was not repelled. It takes only somebody who cannot reason deeply to describe what happened as being consistent with repelling the enemy. Because to repel is to ward off. But if the enemy had so much time to set ablaze government institutions in the place, set ablaze the palace of the Shehu of Borno, set ablaze the local government headquarters, destroy the humanitarian hub where the humanitarian workers, where the NGOs have their base, went to the guest house or guest houses of the humanitarian workers and kidnapped some of them there's no way you can have the latitude, all that time in the world to cause that much destruction if you are indeed repelled. So the truth is, the enemy had so much time.
A field day.
It had a field day, even caterpillars, things that the government uses, and they set ablaze even some of the food items that the governor distributed, the bags of rice. Some they took away. You can see in the picture. You need time to do this kind of destruction. So if you are
under pressure, you can't do this kind of comprehensive.
Yeah, because even the definition of repel is to send you packing, send you back. That's the definition. So what we had before was that the attempt to infiltrate that place was resisted. But if the enemy had all the time to set ablaze houses, set ablaze of 4 places, the home of the traditional ruler of the town, that is like putting the town itself to shame. So they had all that time. It means that the military was look at armored vehicles of our military that they set up this. So the enemy was not repelled. It's as simple as that. You can't have all the time to commit this destruction, and then people will say you are repelled.
They had more than enough time to wreak havoc.
How?
They were there, Ayo, they were in that place for days. I can confirm on my honor that they were in that place for days. Days, not hours. And then they left on their own. So, because the truth is, there are so many things. We want the military to succeed. We want the military to succeed, but I also think that the military will hand the greater confidence of the Nigerian people when the Nigerian people can trust them absolutely. They will earn the respect. They will earn the goodwill of the people when they can trust them absolutely. Because if you interview non-governmental organizations, they are going to tell you the hell that they went through in the hands of these guys. There was no reason in the world, after we recaptured Mate, to have allowed what happened in Dikwa to happen. Because Dikwa, being the home, the headquarters of the humanitarian organizations in northern Borno, it shouldn't fall at all. It shouldn't have been allowed to fall to the enemy. Because they don't want these humanitarian workers to work in that place. So they want to do everything to frustrate them and show them that, look, they are risking their lives by coming to help people. So we shouldn't have allowed the Kwa to fall. So now the governor has said that all the buildings that were destroyed should be rebuilt, including the barracks of the army that were destroyed. So that says clearly what happened. He gave that instruction because he moved around 3 different army bases, set ablaze. This is what we are going through. Immediately, the service chiefs were replaced. They made some progress. They went to Timbuktu Triangle to deal a decisive blow of Boko Haram in that area. They went into the heart of Sambisa Forest. We saw what they did. But the truth is, they have suffered setbacks in Marte and Dikwa, and nobody can deny that. It is impossible to deny that. So this is the thing. And when we suffer setbacks, and it is as apparent as daylight that we suffered a setback, we should be able to admit it and then work hard to ensure that such setback does not happen again. A situation in which one of the foremost residents of Dikwa, Professor Khalifa Dikwa, will come out and be accusing the military of lying. It's not what I like to see.
Still in that vein, Governor Zulum says the so-called radicalized terrorists rejoined Boko Haram after spying on communities. Now, look, reiterating the call on federal government to seek foreign assistance. Now, these guys, we saw, even at the point in time, some joker raised it in the National Assembly that they should even be allowed to embark on training outside the country, the process of de-radicalizing them and reabsorbing them back into the society, that they're going to invest so much in them. So people that are asking that, oh, the ones that have been apprehended, because the last time I counted, they said close to 5,000 people in the hands of the military. They don't know what they want to do with them. So these guys, that they end up being spies for Boko Haram.
Exactly. You know, there was even a time that Ali Ndume actually said that he is not in support of this Safe Corridor initiative, whereby he de-radicalize former Boko Haram terrorists, people who have murdered and killed innocent people just for their own reason. You now want to de-radicalize them and put them back into the society. He was not in support of it, because he even mentioned how they actually took about 75 elderly people, took them to, in quote, their human abattoir, killed them, slaughter them like animals. And you're saying you want to now de-radicalize those set of people. How do you want to do it? Because it doesn't, to me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And that is why Zulum is also saying that we need to now look at this whole initiative. Does it pay us for us to spend money in trying to de-radicalize somebody, and then at the end of the day, if you do not now put them, or if you put them back into the society, they go back and begin to tell their former members that this is what the government is doing, this is what are the plans of the government. It doesn't make sense. So what the government should do, just like Zulum is saying, if we need to flush these guys out, let's flush them out. In terms of machinery, I do not want to believe that we do not have the capacity to deal with these guys. If there is a synergy amongst all the arms of government as well as the military. If the army is doing, the Air Force, everybody is in tandem with the plans which the chief of the defense staff will be bringing in, and the strategies is in place, I believe that we can deal with it. Because if, for instance, the gains that we made during when Chad actually came to Nigeria to deal with Boko Haram, and we continued with that momentum, I want to believe that we would have ended this war. But because we backtracked, and then we started saying, okay, who is going to go? What are we going to do? Those guys will come back together and begin to see how they will come back again. So the issue about the radicalization, I think we have to look at it again. I've seen pictures of where they are saying that those who have been de-radicalized, they are now into tailoring. Some of them are into one thing or the other. But somebody who has been, somebody whose eyes has seen blood and whose hands has touched dollar, and you now want to begin to, how do you want to change that person? It's a very, very difficult thing. So the federal government will have to look at it. I was also looking at another thing and suggestion I should also give to the federal government should be, because I noticed that Boko Haram is using religion. So the federal government has its work in trying to sensitize people on the values of true religion, what the religion is all about. The religion is about love. It's about peace.
Pope John Paul is in Iraq. And what's in his speech that he gave to when he was with Ayatollah, the spiritual
leader, what was never imagined would happen.
Yes. After 30 years, and he's saying that, look, Islam does not, anybody should not hide under religion to perpetuate evil. That Islam does not preach bloodbaths. The same thing we have on these ones that are saying that, at the end of the day, that if these people will be pardoned, we should know on the basis they're going to pardon them, and we should be very sure that they are totally de-radicalized.
You know, researchers have shown that all wars that have been fought civil war and or whatever, ideological war, whatever war that has been fought, the most difficult one to end is a religious war. And indoctrination is part of it. Now, indoctrination in terms of religion is a very strong force. And people need a lot of, they need to undergo a lot of processes before they can get convinced that what they have been indoctrinated with is not right. The visit of the Pope to Iraq, for me, is a pointer to that. That look, the two biggest religions of the world need to come together. They need to come together and come to an understanding that religious wars or indoctrination is not the way to solve the problem of the world. The Pope, in meeting the Ayatollah some years back, who would have thought it would happen? How will you have
the Pope in Iraq?
How will you have thought, even if the Pope had gone to Iraq, he will have only gone to see the political head.
It's like a no-go area.
Exactly.
Exactly.
They used to have 1.5 million Christians.
Yes.
They now have 300,000.
Exactly.
So there's no basis for you to say.
Exactly. So now, the fact that these two people have come together and they are talking peace and talking about how to bring peace to the world is a very big sign for the world. But I also want, in our own way, how do you measure the radicalization? How? Is it because you gather them in a place, you've spoken to them for some months or weeks, and you think, oh,
they're acting normally?
They are acting normally and they have the purge of all those things. They would serve as informants for their people. Because, take it or leave it, we all know that these insurgents or bandits or whatever, militant or whatever we call them, they have sources of income that would no longer be available to those who are repentant or de-radicalized. And money is a very big source of evil that will lure you. And somebody that you claim has been de-radicalized, he gets back to the community, he sees that in the community, he sees things are not as easy as he used to have it in the militant camp, he will go back there. So we need some measure of real education and measure of how are we sure that this guy has been totally de-radicalized. That is very, very important. It is not just to have them for some months and you say, no, they have been de-radicalized, they can go to the community, they get to the community and serve as eye on the community for their old friends.
Jide, how best can these new service chiefs tackle this particular issue? Because we keep getting some Boko Haram, repentant Boko Haram guys, laying down their arms that, they want to embrace peace every other day. Now there are over 5,000. And how best should these new service chiefs actually share intel with them and complete the process of de-radicalization?
I think first and foremost, we need to suspend that program. There is so much complaints that is not delivering the dividends that we expected at the point when we came up with the program. The truth is, there had been so-called radicalized Boko Haram members who went back to the bush to join their mates. The same way we've had some Boko Haram members or even women who were rescued, brought back to the city, and went back into the bush to link up with their men. So we've had stories of de-radicalized Boko Haram members who went back to killing people. One even attacked his father, killed him, and stole his cattle. So, and they are said to be providing information about troops movement and the rest to the enemy. For our troops to succeed, for the service chiefs to succeed, they do not need this kind of distractions. So I expect that the new Chief of Army Staff will take a second look at it, because these complaints are mounting. Boko Haram tends to fear Chadian troops more than Nigerian troops, because they say that our own troops are much more lenient. I don't think we need to be lenient towards these fellows anymore. I don't think we need, and the program, in my view, has to be suspended, and probably some elements of it reject, so that we can achieve our aim. I'm confident that the new service chief, just as Dr. Yegbile asserted earlier in the program, will succeed. I have every reason to believe that they will succeed. People have said a number of things about Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, that he was sacked because he was given an ultimatum to produce Shekau, and he couldn't produce Shekau. The question is, who is the service chief, who is the commander of Operation Lafia Dole that came after him, that was able to produce Shekau? None of them. The former Chief of Army Staff could not produce Shekau. The commanders, there have been many commanders of Operation Lafia Dole after Ibrahim Atahiru left the scene. None of them was able to locate Shekau's whereabouts and bring him to justice. So you can't simply dismiss a man's capability as a serviceman because he could not produce Shekau. And in terms of equipment casualty, what is called equipment casualty in the armed forces, and in terms of troops, casualty of troops, Ibrahim Atahiru had the lowest, he had the best record. So all that is required is for him to transfer that to the bigger scale, because he was managing the Operation Lafia Dole operations, and he was able to achieve that. Brought the level of fatality among troops to the lowest. Equipment casualty came down also drastically during this time. And after that, we've seen so many cases of casualty on the part of our troops. So I have no doubt in my mind that he has got what it takes to get the job done.
Jide, let me take you to Babajide. Yeah. Let me take you to another sensitive one. 101 soldiers were said to have absconded after the Mate Dikwa attacks, and the army authority, they are trying to kind of launch a kind of manhunt for them. And we read it again. They're saying that, look, that this is not true. What happened to the 101 soldiers that embarked on a tactical withdrawal? I want to know the true position.
As I was saying, I'm confident that this set of service chiefs can deliver. And I know some of them personally. I know what they are capable of doing. I know what Irabo is capable of doing. If he gets the maximum cooperation of his colleagues, I know what he's capable of doing. Some of what we are seeing now, the distractions, I know that it will somehow fizzle out. The truth is, when the enemy attacks you with maximum violence, and when I say maximum violence, I'm talking about the kind of weapons deployed by the enemy, the number of fighters that the enemy brings to the war front. Ayo, the truth is that troops do not always stand to fight till the end. And in these same battles, remember, we even lost the commanding officer. So the truth, we lost the commanding officer, which is a tragedy.
A major.
You know? Yes. So no one can say that these guys didn't try to fight. But I've said it before. That Boko Haram does a lot of due diligence before attacking military bases. They will do a survey on the number of weapons that you have, and then come with the same kind of weapons, but with more of them. For example, if you have gun trucks, you have 3 gun trucks, and Boko Haram comes with 17 gun trucks. There is no way you won't be overwhelmed. And if you want to fight another day, you have to make a tactical retreat. You have to retreat. Now, the army will not tell you that their men retreated from the battle scene. They are not going to tell you that. If you are waiting to be told that they retreated, then you wait till forever. But this happens all the time when the volume of violence is more than the soldiers at that location can handle. This is my own honest assessment of what happened. Now you always hear like 10 soldiers killed, 30 missing. When you hear 30 missing, those that are designated as missing often
report back to their base.
To link up with their colleagues. And when they link up, they are available to be deployed back to the war front. When you are overwhelmed, you can see that the force that the enemy came with, you can never surmount that force. You have to retreat. And that was what we did. Our soldiers retreated to Ajiri. Ajiri is about 20 or 25 kilometers to Dikwa. Our soldiers, that was where they retreated to. So, this happens all the time. When you lose your base, some soldiers will, in inverted commas, take to their heels so that they can live to fight another day. Even Bob Marley sang the song that he who fights and runs will live to fight another day. So this is what happened. It is not people. Some people are describing what happened as what's the language that they even use? As if
they deserted.
No, that is not. No, that is not desertion. They are still going to end up at their base, but you all run in different directions when you are overwhelmed, and that's what happened. You run in different directions, but ultimately, some of them will be found. Some could be injured in the process. They will die, and maybe later on their corpses will be recovered. We've been in this situation before. Some years back, when Boko Haram attacked Gashigar, which is the hometown of Senator Kiari, who represents Borno North. A lot of them ran in different directions. And so many were declared missing. Not less than 40 were declared missing. But in the fullness of time, some of those declared missing returned to base. So this is the thing. I don't think we should make so much issue out of this, because it keeps happening. When you are overwhelmed by the enemy, you have no choice. You have no choice. You have to find a way to escape from the scene, you know. And when it is time for you to launch a counterattack, you are alive to launch that counterattack. If all of them had died in Marte, we would not have been able to launch that counterattack that successfully recaptured Marte from the enemy.
Okay, Asuko. Nigerian soldier girlfriend arrested for supplying ammunition, uniforms to bandits in Zamfara. I'd always known that we have this kind of people within the ranks of the Nigerian army, because at any point in time that there's always this surprise attack on convoys, there's always this thing that you preempt, you know that it's an inside job. So right now, this will tell us that if a soldier, his girlfriend, is arrested for supplying ammunition, uniforms for bandits. Now, because most of these bandits, when you see them
with
camouflage. You think they are military officers. You might want to calm down. Hold on, that these are legit guys, and you want to stop your car, and there they go.
No, it's good that this is happening so that the new service chiefs will know that their work is now extremely difficult, and we believe, and I know that they are going to be successful, because we need security, this insecurity to...
That they are fifth columnists.
No, yeah, within them. Either their girlfriends, even their wives, can even be part of them. Because if you look at something like this, we have been talking about Zamfara for a very long time. Now for somebody who was taken for an operation, because they weren't there for an operation, for them to also be conniving with the bandit, because they are part of the people that are into kidnapping. Because once you start giving kidnappers uniforms, you give them ammunition, you are part of the kidnap ring or the circle. So it means that there are so many, of course, good money. Because definitely, if for instance you kidnap children, for instance, the school children, and is a military person that was part of it, do you know how much the person will get?
To you.
He definitely will get caught from it. So it's good that we need all these fifth columnists to be arrested across board, not just only not only the soldiers. We know that we have them in police.
All agencies.
We know we have them everywhere. So with this should send a signal to every other person who is involved in such business.
Most of them are donning military fatigue.
Just imagine, look at that kind of machine gun, for instance. Where do you think? So do you think somebody who was a herdsman before, and he wants to go into this kind of business, he will know the kind of machine gun to buy? He won't. It's somebody who is already in the business, who understands that this is kind of machine gun that is going to scare people, that you'll be able to use, or the number of rounds that you have, the number of bullets.
How do you stop a rocket-propelled grenade?
Exactly. So it is somebody that will be telling them. So it is a soldier or a policeman that will tell them the kinds of guns that they need for their kinds of business.
Purpose machine gun.
So it's not. This is not the kind of. And somebody is saying that we should now pardon people like this and give them amnesty. So, Ayo, this is a good step, and we need more of these people to be arrested, and not just being arrested. See, I have noticed one thing, Ayo. We keep saying that soldiers like this were arrested. Their girlfriends were arrested. We need to start showing Nigerians who these people are
and
in public. If we do not do this, and without do this, the trial behind closed doors, it will not work, Ayo. We need to start shaming these people.
This has gone ahead.
If all is not well in the northeast, north central, the northwest, you can't forestall the situation whereby it permits to the south. Now, they said Amotekun secures the release of 7 kidnapped travelers in Osun State. Osun is now a very hotbed.
Yes.
This afternoon, there was a breaking news that
2 people were even kidnapped.
Kidnapped in Ibadan, Ife route.
Ibadan
and that's a regular route.
Yes.
Ibadan, Ife route. If you are going to Akure,
I have my people on who are on that route.
If you are going to Ado Ekiti, if you are going to Ekiti State, Ibadan, Ife route. So if we have kidnappers laying siege on that kind of road, and they are even talking about even when do we have a first square?
Yes.
Ajabo.
I was reading
like
about the Ajabo, Lagos to Ibadan.
To Ibadan.
You know, the issue here is that when we don't punish people or punish offenders, it gives room for others to say that people are doing it, nobody is getting away with it. It's as simple as what we see on Lagos Road, traffic violation. Because you don't punish people who violate it, that's why things are going like that. And in this kidnapping business, when you have a situation where we hear so much about kidnapping, banditry, and the rest of it in the northeast and northwest, and nothing is happening, it gives some people idea. They may not even be people coming from those areas. There might even be indigenous people
Yes,
like you
yes,
and I.
exactly.
Yes, that
That
are
say that,
emboldened. That
man,
if those ones are cashing out.
Exactly.
Yes.
This is
We local bandits.
this is big
Yes.
money. We can as well do it. So what the government needs to do
That's the
is
most
to
lucrative sector now.
Exactly, is to make sure people are punished. Let us see them being punished. Let us see those who have been arrested. You found a military man and his girlfriend selling arms to bandits. Who is he? What's his rank? What division does he belong to?
Where is he from?
Where is he? All those things are. You see, that's why. Although most times we always talk about it, that's why I like the system in other countries, America and the rest of them. Immediately that happens, they give you a mugshot of the suspect, his background, his everything. But here we treat it as, oh, he's still a suspect until proven guilty. Yes, he's a suspect, but we need to know who he is, which division he belongs to, who are his people, who are the people who know him, and all that. Those are the kind of people that will even give you information. Those are the kind of things that will alert everyone that, I've been relating with this guy, so is this kind of a bad person? Then you make a retreat. But in a situation where we keep the identity shrouded, nobody wants to talk about it, they just say a certain military officer. What certain military officer? What's his rank? Which division does he belong to? Where is he from? What has he been? The other countries will give you the history of the man. But here, even when journalists are curious to have it, we are not given. So it is very, very important. What, before the program started, we were talking about one guy that they said was the leader of those attacking the Barakwa people that have been arrested. And if you check the social media, what are people saying? They should kill him. They should do this. Because, just as I said last week or 2 weeks ago on this program, there's deficit of trust in government agencies. People don't believe government agency again.
When you handed over to the police, it might be released.
Exactly. When you catch a thief today, people want to set him or her on fire because they say that, no, if you take him to the police, you will see him again tomorrow or next week. So, the government agencies and everyone, they need to earn the trust of the people. The Amotekun that arrested this now, when they hand them over to the police, will the Amotekun corps that arrested them be able to be, will they be allowed to follow this process to the end that we arrested him, let us know how he's being tried, let us know the prosecution, so that it is those kind of things that will boost people's confidence in the system. But in a situation where you don't have that, people will lose confidence. Okay. And that's the problem we are having.
I just remember that there's something that is also related to this. Remember the Wadume case?
Yes.
It was whether a major that was involved.
Yes.
Until they find a way out to remove the major from the whole scene. Until today, we've not heard anything about it.
The Wadume case is already going on.
There are some people who were actually, shielding him and allowing him to, to go into this corrupt criminal activity, and nothing has been done.
Yes, Jide is always saying it. He's always talking about these spots. Kaduna Airport, Babajide, bandit attack Kaduna Airport, abduct staff, family members. Because we've always, you said it the other time, you said anytime it is maybe 12 noon, that the activities we just die down there. That their last flight is for 9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Yes.
9 a.m.
The location of the airport is a big problem. We all know that the Buhari area is one of the most dangerous areas in our country. Soldiers have been killed on that road. Air Force personnel have been killed on that road. And it is the road that the airport is located close to that highway that leads to Brenengwari. So, and behind the airport are forests, unmanned, ungoverned areas. So, it makes it convenient for those bandits to simply come into the airport area to wreak havoc. Remember that the airport workers met with Governor El-Rufai some time ago and complained about the fact that the airport area was not safe. Once it's 5 o'clock, you must not stay in the airport area. If you do that, you could be kidnapped. Also, and even I think the Institute of Forestry, or what is that area called, is in that area. So that whole area is not safe. It's not safe at all. And I'm not surprised that these bandits have attacked airport workers. Something urgently must be done. We must keep that Kaduna airport area safe. Kaduna is too important as the capital of northern Nigeria for us to have any part of Kaduna unsafe for the people. The armed forces must continue to work hard to purge the Brenengwari area right up to Chikun local government in Kaduna State of undesirable elements like this who are abducting our people. It's so bad in Kaduna that these days they even walk and they go into people's houses to drag them out and take them away. They take women away in the presence of their husbands, which is terrible. So it's just the location of the airport that makes it such an unsafe area. And the truth is, it's not even as if the airport is too far away from town. It's not that far away from town. It just shows the extent to which these bandits can go in achieving their aim of visiting violence and terror on our people. So the IG said some time ago that they were involved in operations in that area. The operation has to be sustained and it has to be coordinated. Now that we have a new set of service chiefs, it is the job of the Chief of Defense Staff to coordinate joint operations between the armed forces, the Air Force, the Army, and the Navy. So I would expect that General Irabo would come up with a plan of action, coordinated attacks by our own troops on these enemies of the Nigerian state. Once we're able to do that and keep that area safe, definitely things will improve. The bandits have shown extreme disrespect to the president. They've continued to dear our president, behaving.
Oh, that's technology for you. Let's talk about this controversial cleric. Sheikh Gumi has insisted on amnesty for these bandits. Says if coup plotters, Juku and Co can be forgiven, then the bandits, they should be pardoned and rehabilitated and given a state pardon. Are they forgiven?
With all sense of responsibility, I think this insult from Sheikh Gumi should stop. I mean, how can you, for goodness sake, I mean, you see, what the man keeps doing is like putting stick into a saw and turning it. How in the world would anybody with any modicum of respect compare bandits to coup plotters, to Juku, to anyone? I mean, is to take the. I don't want to be insultive or abusive here, but it takes a lot of caution for one not to be insulting. I mean, people, what is the grouse of bandits? Well, coup plotters will say that they are fighting. They are even the coup plotters are fighting a set of people among themselves. They are fighting a tiny set. But bandits, they are waging war against the whole nation. They don't have class of people. They vandalize, they kidnap, they kill anyone that comes their way. They don't have any ideology, they don't have any reason, they don't have anything. But you now go ahead insulting people, saying that bandits are like coup plotters, they should be forgiven. What is the grounds of these bandits? And if the bandits are even if they have some ground, is it the poor and inconsequential people like them that they should be kidnapping or be having grounds against? The people they are kidnapping, they are victims. Are they the people denying them whatever they think the state is denying them? Are they kidnapping governors? Are they kidnapping assembly members or their family members? They are kidnapping ordinary people like you and I. So what is their grounds against people? You are kidnapping people that are as in a worse situation like you. That is what is happening. And the Gumi character will come out and be insulting our intelligence and telling everybody that they should be treated like they should be forgiven like coup plotters. I think we are giving too much relevance to this man. He has fizzled out of public glare for some time, and he thinks this is a way for him to worm his way back, and then he keeps going about talking to bandits instead of him as a religious leader. Use that power of religion. Open the Quran to them and ask them, where in the Quran do you see it that your actions are justified? Instead of doing that, you keep insulting Nigerian intelligence by saying all this nonsense.
As well, some people will tell us to look at the root cause, that this did not just start today, it didn't just happen today. That the failure of governance to reach out to people, the area boys we have in our motor parks, the area boys we have in Mushin, the area boys we have in Bariga, Surulere, and if those ones, if they were up north, they would have been bandits by now. And they are doing their best to wreak havoc in anywhere they are. That those are the kind of people that we've neglected in the north over time. Good governance. The money that people have been sitting on, stealing money, politicians that are meant to spread the money on human development and everything, and this is what you get after years of neglect. Now these bandits are products of that gunpowder waiting to explode. That's exploded in our form.
Exactly. You know, it is years of keeping the young ones and calling them amajirais. You know,
out of school.
Out of school. You don't want to send them to school
because there's a visual trending now. If you see them, because kids
they are
on a long queue, waiting for food.
Yes, you call them the misfit. That these ones you don't want to send them to school. Those are the ones that have decided that, okay, fine, I don't want to go to school. I want to go into farming, or you move them into farming. The ones that are into farming.
I've not seen the impact of government in any way.
Yes, of course. And then
no scholarship.
By the time they grow up, they don't have a life. They don't have a future. And then the next thing is for them to go into drugs. And if you will be shocked that once you go to the north, it is just because customs and code, they've not told us the number of times they would have in and NDLEA. The number of drug addiction
in different ball game. I know.
These are the set of people that are into serious drugs, tramadol, codeine, and all that.
Any drug, gum, suck away
everything that will make them high, because they don't want to think about anything. And then the government has not sat down to see how they can solve the situation. Now, if somebody has a wound, it is for you to heal the wound.
Instead of allowing it to fester.
And don't allow it to fester because it will turn to cancer. And that is what we have done to these guys. I am not in support of Gumi, and I will never be in support of his ideas. Because you cannot say we should grant amnesty to criminals. If somebody is a criminal and he willingly
Gumi is looking at them like freedom fighters.
They are not
the government is owing them.
Ayo, let me tell you.
The government has failed them over time.
Masari gave them the opportunity in 2016.
So if government has failed them, it is the common man that should visit that on.
Any governor that has tried to bring these people back to their senses, it is Governor Masari. Since 2016, he has been in this matter. So for Masari to say that Gumi backtrack, this is not how to do this thing. Rather than you saying that we should grant them amnesty, go there and begin to teach them the value of the religion. Because if you tell them that the religion does not say you should kill, like you kill, in fact the way they kill, just like Masari is saying, the way they kill even more than how you kill animals.
Yeah, you kill animal for a purpose.
Their purpose.
But these people are killing human beings without any purpose.
If people sit down to tell you how their encounter with these bandits and their encounter with kidnappers, you will never pray for it at all. So, what we want the governors to do, I know they usually meet. The last time they met, that is where Zulum was talking about the radicalization.
Yeah.
They need to sit down and draw up a strategic master plan on how to take those children out the streets.
Okay, Jide, now, Governor Masari tells Gumi to stop demanding amnesty for bandits. Says even animals can be killed unjustly. Jide, what's your take on what Governor Masari has walked this path before? He initiated the kind of rapport with the bandits, but several times they failed him. So he's now telling Sheikh Gumi that stop demanding for amnesty for these people. It's not worth it.
The truth is, Sheikh Gumi, I appreciated the fact that he went out to see these guys and know what their problems were. But he's beginning to say things that ordinarily he shouldn't be saying. Yes, we want peace. We want these bandits to stop attacking people. We want these bandits to stop disturbing farmers because it has great implications for food security when they go attack farmers on their farmlands and they are demanding money from farmers before farmers can harvest their crops. When they steal people's cattle, it's not easy to go into livestock farming. The cow, for example, procreates just once a year, and then someone comes and steals your cattle. No one can enjoy that kind of situation. Now we've seen that these bandits are not just, they are not freedom fighters. They are not freedom fighters. Nobody should try to cast them as freedom fighters. They are bloody criminals. They are involved in criminality. So Sheikh Gumi has done his best to reach out to them, know what their problems are. But how sincere are these fellows? I want to align my thoughts with Governor Masari because this is someone who has given them amnesty 2 times. 2 times, and on every occasion they went back to banditry. So this is someone who went, he risked his life to go and have a meeting with Buhari Daji in Buhari Daji's stronghold. And people were attacking him that, the governor went to see a bandit who was harmed with AK-47 and all that. He said he wanted to solve the problem because military action had not proved to be the solution. But he was let down by the bandits who went back to banditry after a while. 3 years ago, the governor gave them another opportunity. He secured the release of their men who were in detention. But he didn't stop them from going back to banditry. That is why Governor Rufai said, if anyone thinks that these bandits who used to be herdsmen, making little money from selling cattle, suddenly they get paid
100
millions of naira,
200 million.
He said if anybody thinks that they will go back, then that person is wrong. So this is the situation. I agree with those governors that, look, whatever it takes, we must pursue the military action. We must exterminate these fellows. That is the solution. I don't think that at this stage we should continue to negotiate with them, because you will never be able to get all of them to agree to stop banditry. That was what happened in Katsina. They succeeded to an extent, but some of them in Katsina didn't give it up. Some of them in Zamfara didn't give up banditry. You are not going to succeed in getting all of them to stop. And the ones who fail to stop, they will continue to make good money. Those who stop will feel jealous of those who continue to make tons of cash from banditry. So in no time, these ones too will go back to it. So this is what we are facing. So I agree with those governors. Let's pursue the military action. Let's exterminate them completely. If we are able to do that, then our people will have peace. Let them realize too that as long as they are committed to banditry, that they will never have peace. This, in my view, is the solution.
All right. We'll take this breather now. When we come back, we'll discuss more. It's still Journalist Hangout on Sunday. Stay with us. It's still your favorite current affairs program on television. That's the TV station of the year, TVC News. We are reaching you live from Lagos, Nigeria. And it's 120 minutes, that's 2 hours of Journalist Hangout. Yes, we told you earlier that between 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. you have Journalist Hangout every Sunday. Now, gentlemen, reaching home stretch on this issue, what are those things that we can get? How can we get a kind of permanent solution to this banditry? Do you think it is the military option that's the best option right now? We've used the military option for Boko Haram in 10 years. It has not worked.
Well, you will not jettison military action, but most importantly, governments at all levels must wake up to their responsibilities. The things that bring all this
welfare.
Exactly, welfare of people. Look, in all honesty, there is an English saying that he that says that he that is down need fear no fall. That is it.
Those guys, they've signed out.
Those guys, they don't have perhaps the only thing in life that he has maybe is his wheelbarrow, which he used to make ends meet every day. So if life ends there and then, he doesn't care. Nobody has spent any money on his education. He has not spent money even where he sleeps. He only lay down where night catches him. But people like you and I, people have invested in you, you have invested in me, we have gone through education, we have children, we have invested in their education and all that. So we care a lot about that. But somebody who is at the ground zero of life, if the world ends today, he doesn't care. It doesn't make any difference to him.
Himself.
He's thinking of the Aljana, which nobody has ever gone to come back and tell you what life is there about.
The number of virgins.
Honestly, government at all levels must wake up to their responsibilities. It is only when government wakes up to its responsibility that people will begin to feel they will enjoy life. People don't have scholarship, they don't have anything, they don't have, even those who are ready for education, they don't have who to sponsor them.
It's not as if government, it's not as if they've not done anything in terms of social intervention, but it's just like a little drop of water in the
because
ocean.
It's coming
because
too
the
late.
cumulative effects that we've had over time.
Well,
I think they have to do more.
No, they have to do more. Okay, I'm just looking at what can bring those guys out of the forest into the main town. Now, some of them, from what Gumi was saying, some of them were headsmen who have gone into banditry. Now, we have the National Livestock Transformation Program. Those states can key into that.
Yeah.
And then encourage those bandits to be employed into that program and give them just 1 month for them to come and drop their hands and then key into that program. Government can do that. You can force the government to make sure that that is done. You understand, Ayo? Then 2, for the Zamfara side, because we know that some of Zamfara is talking about mining, because I believe it is the mining that is also causing most of the problem in Zamfara. Zamfara state government can collaborate with maybe a South African company, for them to start mining and employing these people into those companies. Now, see, or the federal government can do it. The federal government can do it and employ them. So, because I want to see...
Are we saying we don't have Nigerian companies that can do the mining of the gold?
If they have, the federal government should be able to put these guys in their employ. So that we now want to know that you give them 1 month.
Yeah.
Okay. After 1 month, anybody that is seen with the
running off on this. Now, Governor, your thoughts, comments, President Buhari's order against illegal possession of AK-47 rifle, the shoot-on-sight order.
Well, I think this is not the first time that the president would give that directive. It just happens to be the first time that a lot of people are hearing this. At the peak of the Mambila crisis, the president said clearly during the meeting that I had with stakeholders that no one had the right to go around with an AK-47 in the name of protecting himself. The AK-47 is a high caliber weapon. It's not the sort of weapon that you should be carrying about in the name of protecting yourself as a header. So I agree with the president that it's something that has to stop, because this same weapon can be used to commit crime. I sympathize with headsmen who had to resort to harming themselves to protect themselves against criminal cattle rustlers. But we have reached a point now, and given the tension in the land, that we cannot afford to allow all kinds of people to be carrying such high caliber weapons as the AK-47 at this time. So it's a good decision taken by the president, and you can see in Benue, people can say all kinds of things about Otom. The crisis, the farmer header crisis,
subsided.
Currently in Benue has subsided significantly. They don't give him credit for it. That is the way of the Nigerian people. They don't give him credit. But you cannot compare the farmer header crisis that we had in 2017 to the situation now. The army, under the leadership of General Yekin, have done a good work, a good job of securing Benue, Nasarawa, and Taraba states, and the governor is happy with them, and the governor's livestock guards have also done the job of enforcing his anti-open grazing law.
Yes.
I mean, his law against open grazing. So that has limited contact between farmers and herdsmen, because this is usually the source of the fighting.
All
so
right.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing that the president gave that directive. I only hope that across board, those who are saddled with the responsibility of enforcing our laws and enforcing the directives of the commander-in-chief will do the needful and ensure that we have greater peace.
All right. Moving on now. After arrival of the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines in Nigeria, the plan for effective distribution and vaccination is on course. President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo received their own jabs on Saturday. Let's hear from President Buhari, who urged citizens to get set for the vaccination or to be vaccinated.
On Friday, which was
I have been assured by the Presidential Task Force that the AstraZeneca vaccine, which Nigeria has accessed, will arrive in batches, beginning with the first batch of about 4 million doses already received. I am similarly aware of the rollout and the administration plan to cater for over 70% of our population between the year 2021 and 2022. Yesterday, our frontline medical personnel, top on the priority list, were vaccinated. Today, as a demonstration of leadership and faith in the safety and efficacy of the vaccines, I have received my first jab, and I wish to commend it to all eligible Nigerians to do same so that we can be protected from the virus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only. I congratulate the Presidential Task Force on Coronavirus on the successful and multi-sectoral approach to the management of this pandemic. Finally, I wish to acknowledge and to commend the support of governments, our donors, development partners, the private sector, traditional and religious leaders, as well as critical stakeholders who have supported Nigeria thus far. I assure you that the resources will be equitably administered.
Asuko, is a welcome development that Oxford AstraZeneca, the COVID-19 vaccine, is here from India.
Yes, at last we've been waiting for it, to arrive after we first landed in Ghana, our neighboring country.
Yeah, after Ghana, and, I think it landed in Sierra Leone.
Then the first Nigerian was a doctor at the National Hospital, Dr. Cyprian Ngo, and the first female, to receive the jab was Faith Eragbai. So the thing is, for the president and the vice president to have taken this, in public,
restores confidence.
Yes, a lot of confidence, because outside people are just not interested in it. There's this apathy about it, that people.
No, but the people that they've done the online thing, they are said to be over 2 million people.
Of course, I even registered.
You registered?
I registered.
Okay. Finally, we'll do it together today. Don't worry.
No. I registered, but I know before I will even get vaccinated.
I didn't give you any number.
Because first the healthcare frontline workers will have to take. No, they've not mentioned journalists. If they say journalists, they didn't say essential workers. They said frontline health workers. Okay. Then if you
say frontline media workers?
No, they didn't. And they didn't say essential. When they say essential, then that is when you can now see the police, then the fire service, LASEMA and co.
I'm looking for how to get the 3.9 million,
Yeah, then that would be another big challenge. Because and the major challenge now is how to keep the vaccine to be at that level. Because the cold rooms we had during the answer, like the ED of the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency was saying some of the cold rooms were actually vandalized during the NSAS. So, and I know that even in Calabar, the Commissioner for Health once told me that their facility was vandalized, and they even took away all the samples of COVID-19 as well as TB. So if you look at all those things, where they are going to keep these vaccines will be a major challenge in some states. So it will just be in Abuja, because I know Nigeria, preparation for distribution will be another thing.
I'm telling you.
Politics of distribution will be another thing.
Landing, this thing that they are going to have concluded.
Yes, of course. Because I know from after the health workers, it will now be those who are 60 and above. Because I know that is why the vice president and the president they are taking because of their age. Then later it will be those who have critical condition, and then that is where they will now start bringing it down to who is going to take. But I can tell you, and I bet you, there is this, in quotes, people saying that they are not going to take because of one reason or the other.
Okay, let's go to the governor of Kogi State now, Yaya Bello. Yaya Bello is saying he has no business with this activity going on there, and he's going to protect his people from getting, that means this might not get to Kogi State, or is going to reject it because he said it doesn't believe in COVID-19 from the onset.
Well, I'm not surprised that Yaya Bello's outburst, but the truth of the matter is, who are his people that he can prevent from taking? That he's going to stop them from getting it.
He's going to come to the government.
Yes, if they give it to the state government, is it going to be in government house? It is going to be in the hospitals. If I live in Kogi, are you going to stop me? And I believe I want to take it. Are you going to stop me from taking it?
Because nobody should be stopped. The thing is,
nobody should be stopped. It is going to be an illegal thing that for the governor not to collect it and not to distribute it. To collect it and put it in the hospital, put it there and let people take their decision. That, okay, I want to take it, I don't want to take it. What? Look, this Kogi governor of a man, what has he, since he has started his outburst, has he assembled a body of doctors, scientists, and so on, to give him a scientific proof or a scientific basis for him to reject it? The guy is just blabbing and talking nonsense.
You can't say our governor is blabbing. That's our next president.
Who's president? God forbid. The guy is just talking. He has not in any way. Look, before, in the body of knowledge, before you disprove anything at all, there must be researches. Kogi State has the wherewithal. It should employ scientists and medical doctors and so on to sit down and look at it. He's claiming today that there is no COVID in Kogi State. How many people have been tested in Kogi State for him to come out to say that? It shows the level of the kind of leadership that we are. In the United States, you even have people, governors and government officials who don't believe in it, but they don't come out to oppose it, to say it categorically, apart from the president, their former president, who everybody knows what kind of a character is, because you have not made a very solid argument against this, that okay, so scientists have proven they are proving that it is not worthy of it, that we don't have it in Kogi State. How can you say Kogi State is immune with all everybody passing through Kogi State to Lagos to Abuja to everywhere, and people, you know, that express road where people who congregate to eat and all that, and
yes.
I mean, so I mean, I think
let's go to Abuja.
People like Kogi governor is a man people should not take seriously.
We should go to Abuja. I mean, Kano State now. Julie, tell us the situation there. You from Lagos, you went to Abuja. From Abuja, I think Kano. What have you so far about people adhering to the COVID-19 protocols?
Because that's the major thing.
Well, the truth is, generally, our people have relaxed. It's not. It's a nationwide problem. We are already tired of adhering to all the safety protocols. People still wear masks, but wearing masks are not enough. But the truth is, the intensity with which we obeyed those safety protocols has gone down. It has gone down in Kano, it has gone down in Lagos, it has gone down everywhere. In Abuja, I was in Abuja, I saw clearly that people were not obeying those safety protocols the way they used to. So it's a problem across the country. I think that for most people, we have crossed the Rubicon. The worst days, we have survived the worst days of COVID-19, and they are relaxing a little bit and trying to get their lives back. But even on the streets of Kano, you still see a good number of people wearing their mask on their chins, which is where most of them put it, not their noses, because it's a bit difficult to breathe when you put on the mask for too long. And then the business of selling masks is still thriving in Kano, in the traffic jams, as well as in Abuja itself. So, yes, we have relaxed a little bit. We have relaxed significantly, but the thing is, people are just bent on going back to the past, reclaiming their lives, but they know that this thing exists. And the billboards, there are billboards all over Kano City, erected by the governor, drawing attention to the need to stay safe, drawing attention to the need to obey the safety protocols. So that is significant. And I believe that if our people would adhere to the safety protocols, the incidence of COVID-19 will go down significantly. We need it to go down significantly. And of course, talking about the vaccine, it's a welcome development that 3.94 million doses of the vaccine have been sent to our country, thanks to the World Health Organization. It's unfortunate and is a matter of big shame that the continent of Africa could not come up with an homegrown, home-developed vaccine for its people. We had to wait for North America, represented by the US, United Kingdom, representing Europe, and the pair of India and China to come up with a vaccine that can help us, deal with this virulent problem. So now, states, the truth is many states are not going to benefit from this first phase, because as we speak, despite the fact that we had to wait for so long before the vaccines came to our country, a lot of the states are not ready. They do not have the facilities to store the vaccines, and the PTF has made it clear that those states that do not have the facilities, that clearly were not prepared for this or the coming of this vaccine, will not partake from this this first phase. And they will not partake until they are ready, until they show seriousness, they show that they are ready. Remember that even the first 500,000 or so doses, the first doses of the vaccine that came from Pfizer had to be sent back because the country didn't have the facilities to keep them. So this is where we have found ourselves. I'm very sure that if we were to investigate, my state, Kogi State, will be one of those states that does not have the facility to even receive these vaccines and keep them stored. So what the governor says really does not matter at this time. This is a Nigerian issue, and every Nigerian who wants to take the jab should be allowed to have it. Nobody should stand in the way. About 2.5 million Nigerians at the last count had applied to be vaccinated. So nobody should tell our people that if they get vaccinated, that they are going to be deformed, that their DNA will be altered, and all that absolute rubbish that people are saying about this vaccine. Yes. It's a good thing that the president and his deputy volunteered, and appeared in public to receive those jabs of the vaccine. So it's good because they are role models, and when people see them taking the jab, they too will see that there is no big deal about it. So, and we want more leaders, more prominent leaders, to also show the way, to also make themselves available to receive this vaccine, so that our people can see that there's really no harm in it. That is the only way that we can defeat this virus. People going around saying all kinds of nasty things to discourage other people from taking the vaccine. At the end of the day, they are wasting their time, because those who want to be vaccinated will be vaccinated. And at the end of the day, the goal is to defeat this virus, and we shall defeat the virus in the final analysis. So kudos to my president. You could see that he showed no emotion. When they were giving the jab, he showed no emotion. I was looking into his eyes, and the cameramen trained their camera on his eyes to see whether I will betray any form of emotion
or whatever.
Yes. It showed strength there. It showed resilience, and that's the Nigerian spirit. Our people should see now that there is no pain in being vaccinated. That's what the president demonstrated, and I thank him for that. Our people will see now that no, it's not. You won't feel extreme pain when it goes into you, and you'll be relieved at the end of the day. At least you have some form of immunity against it. When look at his eyes, you can see that he's not showing any emotion at all. That's my president. That's the sort of courage that we want to see. Nigerians, even kids watching this, will feel that there is really no pain in being vaccinated. That's exemplary leadership that the old man is showing, and that's what we want to see. Those who don't want to take it, that is their problem. We are not going to beg anybody to be vaccinated, but those who want to be vaccinated to be allowed to come forward and get their job.
Exactly.
Okay, I have Abdul from Kaduna. Thank you for joining us, Abdul. Thank you for holding on.
Good afternoon.
Yes, afternoon, Abdul. Good afternoon, Abdul.
Okay, good afternoon. I want to contribute to the issue of the COVID-19, especially on the vaccination.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, this issue of vaccination, there is a lot of cook-up stories regarding rumors spreading around, people saying that the whites are trying to kill us. Please, I am a science student, I'm a scientist, and I believe in science. And we have seen it yesterday that the president and the vice, the first, second citizen were immunized, were vaccinated yesterday. So I don't think there's any issue behind it. So I use this opportunity to urge all Nigerians that if they have opportunity to be vaccinated, because as time goes on, I think I learned that if you are going out of the country, it will become a compulsory document that you must be vaccinated.
Yes, of course.
So I urge all Nigerians to key into this and the willingness that Nigeria has shown, the resilience Nigerians have shown in fighting COVID-19. We also hope that the other issues that is confronting our society, they also try fighting it. So this fight is not won only by Nigerians. We gather experts from all over the world. They try to get accessing immunization. So I use the opportunity to also tell Nigerians that anything that will take them to get people across the country to also assist us in fighting insecurity, they should also do that.
Thank you for your contribution, Abdul. Suko, for those of you that you like helping out at the least,
because the thing is,
it will become the second passport of visa now.
Of course, can't you see even after taking the job, they gave them a card showing that okay,
have you taken it?
Yes. So so the thing is, at some point, everybody would have to get a job.
The UK is even pushing for it now in Europe. That it should be the second passport or visa kind of thing, but people to travel with.
All right. Finally on the show today, the wait is over and it is worth the efforts. The long-awaited Agege Pennsylvania flyover is ready, and it was launched yesterday by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and former governor of Lagos State. Now, to the relief of motorists and those plying that access, let's share this story on the inauguration with you.
Agege is a suburb in Lagos with a population of over 500,000 inhabitants. It links Fagba, Ogba, Dokbemu, and Ikeja. Now, the ice is broken with the newly constructed 1.4 kilometer Agege flyover that links the different areas within its environs. The Speaker House of Assembly said the project was possible because of the relationship between the executive and legislative in the state.
Today in Lagos State, we enjoy that strong friendship between the House and the executive, and this has given development, employment to Lagos State.
For the national leader of the All Progressive Congress, youth must support the government for the growth of the state.
Don't emulate those who are in thuggery. There's no development if there's no peace. We must embrace peace to have development.
I want to thank Governor Sanwo-Olu stressed that the government deliberately focused on the provision of infrastructure to achieve its target of reducing travel time and save important man hours that would have been otherwise lost to traffic.
Agege deserves more. And so we'll go back and we'll see how all of the infrastructure from Ojodu Baga to widen the road and to begin to bring relief from Lagos-Ibadan Express Road.
But for some of the residents, the government can still do more, especially in the area.
Before in this place is too hectic. You can use more than 1 or 2 hours to cross to where you are going. But with timeline now, we're able to move to where we are going. We're able to go to the interland and come back in time. And we're able to appreciate our governor. Okoba Road. You get coming from Abule Egba down to Okoba Road. We have an interland road that they can be connected, like Ladipo Isaka, which can lead to Emmanuel bus stop, like Agubiade here, like Afanla area. When they already fix all those roads, it will help us to ease the hot traffic here. So that but those people that are going through that area, we're able to move around this place so that the traffic that want to be congested this place will be easily to, and it will help. Going to Ifakojaye, all those roads at Ifakojaye area, they will help us to fix it. So that at the end of the day, things will be easily moved.
We have to be very grateful to the executive governor of this state. And of course, all our leaders, they have actually done well with this project. But I will look beyond the road infrastructure. So what I will beseech the governor after this kind of a laudable project is that they should try and empower our youth so that at least everybody can be on the same level. We can see how beautiful the whole environment is.
We appreciate this that they have done, but the pending roads that we have in the community that is problematic to us, that can be connected to this road is firstly Moshalashi, the one that leads to the market at the back towards Otubu. And then we have our Okwaba route, linking Abattoir. All those areas needed refurbishing. If they will do that for us, it will help easy flying for the whole Agege, and we're going to appreciate it very much.
Now that this railway line has been expanded, our people will be taking a lot of risk in going through the railway line. So if we can have a pedestrian bridge between Agumbiade connecting Pen Cinema, it will enhance commercial activities and safety of our people around that axis.
As residents applaud the state government for this laudable project, like Oliver Twist, they will always ask for more because it's their legitimate right to have better road infrastructure and employment opportunities. But the onus now lies with the state government to put proper policies in place that actualize the yearnings of the people in Lagos. Ademola Lawrence, TVC News, Lagos.
I'll say congratulations to some Lagosians that their lives, daily livelihood is connected to that area. Congratulations to people like Asuko, Mr. Ibile.
I passed there today.
I don't know.
I drove past
that area used to be like so
I came
chaotic.
through the place exactly. Now.
There was a day I wanted to cry in my vehicle. What is this? Instead of me to go and pass my normal route, I went to go and pass through Agege. and that estate, the diversion in the estate, I was inside that estate for like an hour and a half. So I was like, stand still.
It can be back-breaking
sometimes. And everything, stand still.
But we want to thank the Lagos State government for completing this project. I drove past that bridge yesterday, just on a normal...
Lush, 1.4 kilometers.
Yes, long and spacious, so you can take close to 4 cars.
Class. You need to see the drone shots.
You know, so I had to go turn, and I was really happy. At least something like that is, around my area.
Yes, and they use the opportunity to fix adjoining roads.
Yeah,
lead in and out. Yes.
So just like some of them they were saying something about having a pedestrian bridge at that Koto area, because I think that is a major bus stop and people will have to cross the road. Yeah. So maybe the government can also look at doing a pedestrian bridge. People also go into Fagba. People, if you are going to Fagba area they are also asking that the government can also do something like similar.
So and they will have started it that time too, but it's just the...
Yes. I wanted to say that we should, kudos to former Governor Ambode too for initiating this project. He started this project, and he wasn't able to complete it. And thanks to Governor Sanwo-Olu that he did not abandon the project.
Yeah, you see,
he saw it through.
I think in this project, it is a three-pronged tanks that we need to give
from
the speaker, the speaker of the Lagos House of Assembly, who also try to see that it is done. Then, as you mentioned, the minister. We were told that it was conceived under Enibeti. Yes. So all those, and then the fact that the present governor also continued with it. Yeah. Although
it's
at the point
to see it through.
Exactly. At the point that it has gotten to, one might say that he might not be able to abandon it without completing it. But I'm very happy about the project because it has shortened time for me. I passed through there as I was coming to the studio this afternoon. I'm going to pass there as I'm going. And any day I'm coming to journalists hangout. It is that aggregate thing that always give me concern. But now with this, it has shortened the travel time. Exactly. Don't need to go through Fagba and all those things. It has shortened the travel time. But we also need one thing. As citizens, we must seize the initiative. We must help the government.
Let's go
we need to help the government.
Exactly.
This is the beauty of Lagos. This is why it is Lagos. There is continuity and the tendency for abandoned projects, if Ambode starts something, Sanwo-Olu, there's 80% assurance now that Sanwo-Olu is just going to see all through, see it through. And we're also appealing to him on Oshodi. That Oshodi, I think it's what $7 million investment, that thing should not be just a moribund project there. And even, what's the name of this? The one at the housing estates. I forgot that housing estates. Ilubiri, that was conceived by BRF too. That should not be left alone. Babajide, what do you think of this project?
There are so many of those projects that you can talk about.
Yes, even the
projects inherited from the former administration. Now, it makes sense to complete a project that your predecessor could not complete. At the end of the day, you even get the greater credit. Because it is the person who completes the project that gets the bulk of the credit. Many people do not remember who conceived the idea or who took it halfway. So, Governor Sanwo-Olu and President Buhari, they are showing great wisdom by completing projects initiated by their predecessors, because they are the ones who will go home with the tons of credit for it. People will not talk about who started it. You know, so government is a continuum. Abandoning a project because you do not like the face of your predecessor is a stupid thing to do, because the project is not the private project of your predecessor. So you cannot abandon the project. You just have to continue with it. And I can tell you, by the time this governor finishes the projects that he inherited, and then completes his own, he focuses on his own projects that he can complete, he will be rated so highly among Lagos State Chief Executives, because he has chosen to put logic over emotions. That is the problem. That is what a lot of our people do not do. I know a governor in the Southwest who was deliberately abandoning projects of his predecessors. Well, at the end of the day, you too, we are going to leave the office one day. You can't be there forever. It is what you do that people will talk about. So it's a good thing. You look at Abuja. Abuja, a lot of the projects were initiated by IBB, but Abacha was the one who completed them, and he will take credit for what he completed. So that's the way it is. I thank the governor for delivering on this project. There are still a number of such projects that Ambode initiated. We want to see him complete those projects before focusing on his own signature project. So it's a good thing, and I know that those who ply that route will be happy now, because travel time will be reduced drastically. They once stole my phone. They once stole my phone inside that traffic gridlock at Penn Cinema. You know? Yes, they stole my phone some years back, and every time I pass through that area, I always remember that my sergeant phone. You know, it didn't cost so much for a struggling man at that time, and it was a bad thing to see my sergeant phone stolen. So every time I pass through that place, I remember. But now, when I'm passing through that place, it was with joy, because I know that the travel time would have been reduced drastically. The logjam, we found a solution to that logjam. And Fagba is another area where they also plan to do something like this. So we are waiting. We are waiting for that of Fagba and other areas. Those people, the residents, were saying some things about some communities, about some roads that also need to be expanded. I hope the governor watch this program a number of times so that I can identify the areas that the residents have talked about, you know, and find a way to solve those problems. And thank you, Governor Sanwo-Olu, for delivering this project.
Yeah, it's been the continuity in this project, and ultimately we just wish. I went there yesterday. I saw that the traffic flow seamless, and to save travel time.
Yeah, you see.
And
one last, what I wanted to say, citizens too must seize that initiative. If you see anybody trying to spoil anything there, we must warn. Government cannot work it 24 hours. We must be the one. We are the one using it, And we must wake up to our responsibility to protect it.
Yes, they should not vandalize those
exactly.
traffic lights.
Exactly. And then the yellow buses must not stay on the road.
Yes, they must not turn that place to motor park.
Motor park, you know. And just like we are thanking the governor, the railway that leads from Badagry to the island.
The blue line and the red line. Very important.
That is the most important.
I know that is capital intensive. But
but I just hope the governor will see it through.
Yeah. Okay. I want to thank you, Olayinka Oyebile, in the last 120 minutes. That's the way journalists stand out on Sunday is fashioned. Thank you. And I want to thank you, BKO from Kano. Thank you, BKO, and your viewers are asking, when are you coming to Lagos? I'm tired of asking from you.
I'm doing some work here. You know, I like to explore Nigeria. I'm doing some work. They'll see the work that I'm doing here.
So it's even the new norm. It's the new norm. We can see you. It's the new norm. Okay, maybe.
I've visited some forests. So people will see me. Yes, I've got.
Did you meet with bandits too?
Yes, they are going to see me and my Fulani friends when I return to Lagos.
Okay, the pirated one. That's good, James. Thank you for your contribution. Today we'll be expecting you any moment from now, and that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for our regular edition of Journalist Hangout by 5 p.m. Our regular edition of Journalist Hangout by 5 to 6 p.m. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Bye for now, and please stay safe.